Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled 29 Pretty and Pregnant by a Man She Met 8 weeks ago. Let's get right into it.
I got pregnant by a man I had only known for 2 months, and in spite of not knowing each other, I decided to have his baby. Now I know everyone thinks that I'm crazy, but let me explain the green flags that I saw in him that made me feel comfortable enough to do this. Number one, he did not freak out when I told him I was pregnant. The first thing that he asked me was if I was okay. He did not immediately run to the thought of, oh my gosh, we have to get rid of it. You know, what are you gonna do? We need to fix this. He very much wanted to make sure that I was okay, that I figured out what I wanted to do, and that he would support me regardless of what I decided to do. Second green flag was the way that he talked about our future. Anytime he talked about the future in general, I was always included in the conversation, even before we found out that we were pregnant. And so it made me feel like he saw a future with me, regardless of this huge life change that we were about to experience. The third green flag was that he always made me feel seen. He would do things without me having to ask. He would notice when I ran out of something and grab it for me. I would always come home to flowers on the counter or just random snacks that he thought I would like. He was just constantly thinking about me, making sure that I was okay and that I had everything that I needed without me ever having to ask him for it. Fourth green flag was that he lived in a stable environment and he had financial security. And obviously this reason is a little bit more surface level than the other ones that I've mentioned, but that was something that was really important to me. I didn't want to bring a child into the world without having our own space, without making sure that we were financially able to provide for that child. And so just knowing that he had his own house, he had a career that he had been in for years already, and he was already established, made me feel comfortable knowing that we were going to have a child together. Reason number 5 is that he was sure when I doubted. Oh, thank you, baby. Yeah, it's very hot. Thank you. See what I mean by dinner if he just brought me lunch, okay? Yes, he was sure when I doubted. I truly had no idea the way that our life was going to go, how it was going to look, and the unknown just scared me a lot, but he was always...
Okay, so here's a lot going on, okay? She's 29. She's attractive. I'm gonna give her that. She's a pretty girl. But her story's not really adding up, and here's why, okay? You didn't know him. You didn't know him, but then throughout your story, when you're given reasons, one of the things you mentioned that, you know, you'd come home to flowers. What do you mean coming home to flowers? Did you move in after 8 weeks? You know what I'm saying? That was kind of weird. And I realized that a lot of things she described was this. He made her feel this way. She felt this way. He appealed to her emotions. And the big thing was he lived in an environment that was stable. So part of me feels like her story's not really adding up. And then another part of me feels like she's trying to trap him. So I wasn't sure, right? So I kept snooping around, and then I found this. Now this, my friend, get a load of this. This is probably the real reason why she, one, slept with a man she barely knew. Because someone asked her, what made you have sex with him so soon? Take a look.
I've actually gotten this question a lot as well, and what I'll say to answer is that at this time in my life, I had just gotten out of a 7-year relationship, the longest, most serious relationship I had ever been in. We broke up in April of 2022, and I initially thought to myself that I was going to have a hot girl summer. I hadn't been single in such a long time. I was just so excited to put myself out there to experience life. I was gonna move to Dallas and just take on this new life and be this new person essentially. And not even a month later, in May, I met my now husband, and we met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and we immediately just hit it off. I mean, we talked essentially the whole night, and neither one of us was looking for anything serious. He had just broken an engagement. I had just gotten out of my previous relationship, so it wasn't even like we came into it thinking that it would become what it has. I guess, long story short, I slept with him because I wanted to. I slept with him because I feel like during that time in my life, I was trying to find myself. I was trying to understand my new freedom, but what I realized was that the only freedom I can get is in Christ. And if I would have been obedient and done things...
I don't want to hear it. Finding in Christ. Come on now. Stop playing with the Lord's name in vain. Look, here's a key word you got to take away from this girl who wanted a hot girl summer, okay? I was lost because okay. The thing that's so strange to me about women, that women look at the words, they use the words experience life and finding themselves as key words for they want that raw meat. They want to feel that meat raw doggy. Smacking the cheeks raw, okay? Now, hot girl summer is also keyword for hoe face. She wanted a hoe face. This guy was a rebound. After 7 years of a relationship, she got knocked up by the next dude she slept with. No protection. Raw dog, no protection. Okay, so this lady, she got lucky because he was a good guy. and he ended up marrying her, so now she's a wife. But these poor decisions was just that. Poor decisions. It could have easily went the opposite way. And she would have been crying on TikTok talking about, oh, guys ain't shit and they don't take care of their kids. But fortunately for her, she dated a black man. By the way, her boyfriend, her husband, sorry, is a black man that did right by her. Okay? And like I said, she probably tried to trap him as well, letting him hit it raw because she realized how much he had going for himself, had his own crib, and he's kind of beta too, right? He's cooking for her. I'm not saying you can't cook for your girl, but he seems like he's taking care of her on, like, he's giving her the white glove service, right? Like, he's really, really, like, rolling out the red carpet for her. And by all means, it might be the first baddie he has ever had, so that's fine. Anyway, I found another video I thought was pretty interesting. Take a look at this. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly, you just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
I don't think women understand how serious pregnancy is. And y'all are over here just getting pregnant by any man that gives y'all any type of attention and tells y'all that he wants a family and he likes you and do. Do y'all not understand that you could die? That you could literally die. You basically telling that nigga, I would die for you. I would die for you. I'm putting my body through all this. I could die for you. And I just love and care about you that much. I'm willing to die for your ass to have this baby. Sit back and think. If he had to choose to keep either one of you alive, the baby or you, who you think he gonna choose?
We gonna choose the baby, our seed, our legacy, okay? I'm playing, I don't know. Some men might choose their wife, they might choose the girl. But she's right. She got pregnant by the first dude that gave her attention. Bad choice. She's lucky it worked out. Hot girl summer is usually not the routine you want to follow. Anyway, listen to this. I thought it was a pretty interesting video. Take a look.
And a lady came on here and said nothing but the harsh truth. She said the dating pool is trash because you guys are taking advice from hoes. And when Kevin Samuel said that you guys wish death on this man, you were angry, you were outraged. But the truth is there's tricks and then there's boyfriends, okay? And it's so true, we're expecting boyfriends to be tricks. But it's like, do we know what tricks do? And what they require? And you're telling women... Listen, guys, I think it's enough now. We've enjoyed them. They were funny. And that's all they were meant to be, is funny. You're not meant to take those women seriously. If you want to be in a healthy, stable relationship, you don't listen to them. Thank you.
Finally, a reasonable girl. And she's right. You guys made fun of Kevin Samuels, and all he told you was, don't listen to the 304s. Don't listen to them. Okay, but y'all listen to them. Y'all want a hot girl summer. Y'all getting passed around. All the girls singing that crap, they're getting passed around. Okay, Meg Thee Stallion, she getting passed around. Okay, it's Klay Thompson's turn right now. Anyway, I think it's very interesting because it's true. A lot of women expect boyfriend treatment. Well, they expect simp treatment and trick treatment from their boyfriends, right? Like, y'all want y'all boyfriends to be tricks. Y'all want us to throw money and be simps for y'all. It don't make sense, okay? The simps and the tricks are the men that struggle to get women, not the boyfriends. The boyfriend should be a dude that, you know, you're just one of many girls he could have chose from. I mean, that's the way I see it. Anyway, here's a pretty good dating advice from older women. Can you imagine that? There's older women who give good dating advice to the younger girls. Take a look.
I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day, and she was telling me how she has a male friend who she's interested in romantically. And I said, have you said anything to him? And she was like, no. And I said, why not? And she said, well, he should get my hints. And I said, hints? What hints? She's like, I mean, the way I act around him and you know, all this stuff. And I was like, the way you act around him? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, you know, he should see that I like him. And I was just like, so why don't you just tell him that you like him? And she's like, well, I don't do that. I don't chase men. And I was like, I like chasing men and letting a man know that you're interested in him are two different things. Chasing a man is once he knows that you like him and he's still not giving you any type of time of day or whatever. He kind of has you just kind of lingering over here. Letting a man know, and I don't necessarily mean like, hey, I like you, but giving him some subtle hints at least to let him know that you like it is two totally different things. And I was like, so how do you think he's going to know that you like him if you never say anything? She's like, well, he's going to have to figure it out. And I had to tell her, like, in this day and time, men are not approaching women, which is really weird to me. But I had to sit back and think, like, why aren't men approaching women? And I've come up with the thought of maybe it has to do with COVID and the Me Too movement. COVID, we were in the house for a year and a half by ourselves. And so we've just kind of learned how to, one, be by ourselves. And two, the Me Too movement, let me tell you something. If you talk or get with the wrong woman, they can ruin your whole life.
And a lot of them will. A lot of the women. She's actually right. You know, y'all, I know y'all find it weird that men are not approaching women, but these are the reasons. The Me Too movement is probably the biggest reason. Y'all complain, oh, men are creeps, men are this, men are that. So men, we don't want to be part of the wild stories that you guys have for TikTok. I see these TikToks all the time. I'm like, damn, I react to TikToks all the time. And I think to myself, I never want to be the subject of a TikTok. Like, never. Right? Now, I want to point out just a couple things. A lot of you women believe that a man should take your hints. And the weird thing about that is, when have you ever had proof that men can take a hint? When have you ever had a proof? Please show me the proof that the hints you give, men could read and understand. Because we can't. And you always talk about, oh, we value communication. Oh, women, we value communication. Then communicate. Giving hints is poor communication. Okay? That's one. Two, chasing a man and approaching a man are not the same. She said it right. Chasing a man is when a man doesn't want you and you keep pursuing. You letting me know that you like me is not chasing me. It might be making the first approach, but the reality is you want your male friend. This guy's a friend of yours. You want your male friend to take hints. How, Sway? How? He doesn't know. We're not good at reading hints. We're not good at reading minds. Please, ladies, we're not mind readers. There's no evidence that we've ever read anybody's mind before. Please don't try and make us and hold us to the standard that we can now. Please, I'm begging you. Anyway, going forward, I thought this is a pretty interesting TikTok. Take a look.
For everybody saying men don't marry the love of their life, they marry the girl that's around when they're ready. What are we supposed to do with that information exactly? Like, every time I look up, it's a new theory. It's something else that I gotta lay up in the middle of the night looking at the ceiling thinking about, like, well, where did I go wrong? Stop. Like, y'all out here saying, oh, well, men only get married when they see their friends getting married. Well, the leader of the pack gets married first, and then it slowly begins to trickle down. What are we supposed to do with the information? And I don't think a lot of y'all understand that is like emotionally jarring for a lot of people. And I may be the only person that is strong enough to speak on this, because everybody want to act like they don't got feelings. I can say this as a person that doesn't censor men and doesn't chase love. That emotionally hurts my feelings, because do you know how many times that's basically saying to me, oh, you're not good enough? Like, as an ex-lover girl, as an ex-hopeless romantic, and also as a person that does very well with expressing themselves, that hurts my feelings in a way that I can't even put it into words. I can't even explain why it hurts me the way that it does, but internally it hurts. Because I told y'all months ago how I was just one of those girls, like, I wanted love. Love just never wanted me. And then for y'all to turn around and say, oh, well, men don't marry the love of their life. They marry who's around when they ready to get married. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Because are you saying that I just have terrible timing? Because I'm really sick of y'all moving the goalposts. It's, well, you're not pretty enough, or you're not skinny enough, or you too nice. You got to be mean to him. Oh, he's just not ready right now. You got to catch him when he's ready. He came to me. Either way, I'm sick of this goalpost being moved. And it's pissing me off because none of this makes sense emotionally or logically.
You know why it doesn't make sense emotionally or logically? Because you listen to women. Stop listening to women about what men feel and how men move. You guys are just guessing. You said it the best. There's always this new theory. You guys are always coming up with theories, trying to come up with ideas and hypotheses about how men are instead of just listening to men. Why is it so hard to just listen to men? Y'all rather listen to 304s. You rather listen to old women that nobody wants. Y'all rather listen to everybody but men. Y'all sit around and say, oh, we got to take the podcast mic away from men. Everyone shouldn't be able to have a podcast, and men, they shouldn't be able to podcast. Why don't y'all just listen to us? Y'all should be the number one people tuning in. Because we spill the tea. We just give it away for free. If you're struggling getting married as a woman, it's usually one of three things, or maybe all three. You're not fit, feminine, or friendly. I'm telling you, that is the bare minimum we have for women, yet women are still trying to come up with theories and ideas, and he's going to marry when he's ready, and his main friend, and when that main friend marries first and everyone else follows like domino. No, all that is just a theory. You're making it up. A lot of these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Watch these videos, read the comments. The men are going to tell you in these comments. I see women in the comments all the time. I know there's women in my comments right now. You might be writing a comment right now, but instead of leaving a hate comment, go read some of the other comments. Men are going to tell you exactly how they feel. Okay? There's some hate comments. There's some men that are probably misogynist. I ain't going to lie, but it's not the majority. A lot of the majority of men that respond to these type of videos that I'm making right now are very logical. They're pragmatic. We can't help it. It's just the way we are. It's our nature. So I think the fact that you decentered men and you want marriage, it's laughable. Okay? That's your fault. You decided that, I ain't going to put men first. And now you want a man to put you first. You want a man to prioritize you when you decided that men are not something to prioritize. How is that going to make sense? It's not. It's not. And if you read the Bible, you would have found that out. You would have found that out. Anyway, another interesting video. Shout out to this girl, right? Because this girl actually has some respect for black men. I love when I see a lady that has some respect for black men. Let's listen to what she has to say.
And when y'all get on here and talk about how y'all not dating black men anymore, I shut up so hard. I super shut up. I was just watching this girl's video, and she says that she wants to list out the reasons why she won't be dating black men anymore. And she starts off with, they don't take care of their kids, they're not reliable, they're not supportive, they don't make good financial decisions. Then they want us to pay half the bills, sleep with them, take care of the kids, cook, clean, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, and the caption was, most black men, da-da-da-da-da. As a woman who quite literally has spent a considerable amount of time around men in my life, especially my formative years, because I worked in barbershops. At one point, I was the only girl working in a barbershop. I really got to understand and learn, and I'm also curious and inquisitive about the nature and the mind of men. Because I actually like men. Not just romantically love men, but I actually like men. And just like we talk about how some men don't like women, some women don't like men. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I literally don't know any men who don't take care of their children. And I know a plethora of men. I don't know any that don't take care of their children. And she was like, taking care of your kids is not just paying child support. Just because you have a poor situation with maybe your children's father, or maybe, I don't know, you've heard a couple of baby mama, baby daddy stories, does not equate to all black men, or even most black men not taking care of their kids. In fact, research shows us that more black men are involved today than ever in their children's lives. Let's start there. Okay, you say they're not reliable and they're not supportive. I can call at least 10 to 20 men right now and say I need whatever, and I am not romantically involved with these men. And I could call them right now and say I'm in an emergency, or I need da-da-da-da-da-da. And they will be Johnny or Jamarcus on the spot.
You know, it's so funny to me because it's always the loudest voices online are the ones that got something bad to say about black men, but because they chose poorly. Listen, I'm not here to say all black men are picture perfect. They do nothing wrong. No, I'm not here to say that. But the reality of it is, for you to generalize black men by a small portion of unworthy men, it's ridiculous. When she went on the story that she's telling, right, this lady's telling about how women say most black men this, most black women that, what they're talking about is the most of black men they've dealt with. And most of the black men they dealt with ain't shit. They dealt with black men that weren't nothing, and they assumed all black men are just like these people. For example, she said, oh yeah, they don't take care of their kids. They want to go 50-50. They always want you to sleep with them and raise their kids and cook for them. And what happened in the beginning of the story? This girl was she was one half hot girl summer. She got knocked up by a black guy that married her and didn't even press her to have a abortion. He didn't even press her to do that. Get rid of the kid, delete the kid. He didn't pressure her. He put her in the crib, put her in the house, even though she just got out of a 7-year relationship and she wanted to be a thought. So sometimes, even with black men, you could do the wrong thing and still have success with black men, because that's how many black men would do the right thing. But if you choose poorly, you're going to get poor results. Garbage in is garbage out, no matter what race you choose. But some women love the smell of garbage, and they're trying to get honey from fleas. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. It's just not. So shout out to this girl. She said she worked in a barber shop. Some of you black women, if y'all want to learn men, work in a barber shop. You're going to learn a lot about black men, because we tell it straight. We tell it straight, and we hold other black men accountable in the barbershop. The barbershop might be one of the last safe places for black men to have discussions outside of the internet, like the manosphere. One of the last safe places. Here, yeah, black men can talk their shit, and we have community, and we express ourselves, and we have fun, we laugh, we joke, we talk shit, but we also compare notes, and we share some real ideas. So the barbershop, the manosphere, these online communities, these videos where we talk and we have comments underneath, yeah, black men are telling you exactly how they feel. And then other men on top of that. I know most of my followers and my supporters are black men, but there are other men, and we all tend to agree on most things. I'm just, it's kind of wild to me that men are not that different from each other, but women still can't figure them out because you don't want to listen to other men, and that's one of the main problems. You don't listen. You have all these opinions, and you look for people who you like to tell you what you want to hear. That's why you a single mom. That's why you're single mom. That's why you're single mom. Anyway, let's go to the headliner. Today's headliner is this beautiful girl named Florence. She got some words to say. I want to hear what she got to say. Take a listen.
So I came across this video here on TikTok of this girl speaking about, her being humble and how she's missed out on such and such opportunity due to said humbleness. And it really stopped me in my tracks because I resonated so much, and it made me think about all of the opportunities that I've missed out on due to me being humble,
Can you imagine that? How beautiful this girl is, and she's missing opportunities because she's humble? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That's what happens. That's what happens. Okay? Humble people, they get taken advantage of too. Okay, but we're going to show her some love, show Florence some love. Here's a beautiful imagery of her. Natural hair, pulling her natural hair, and an amazing body. I personally like girls with abs, but I go to the gym, I work out. I know a lot of dudes like, oh, abs look too manly. I don't think they look manly at all. I like shoulders. She got good shoulders. Obviously has an amazing rack. I personally want to love her as exposed like this if she was my girl. But I understand this is the world we live in now. Everybody's damn near half naked on the internet, right? It is what it is. But she looks amazing. Shout out to her. Beautiful woman. I don't know where she's from. I think she's from the UK. Either way, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see y'all over there.